Welcome to Gentle Slow Flow Yoga. My name is Mary, and I'm going to be your guide through this practice today. So we're going to begin in a comfortable seated position. Anything that works for you. It can be on your knees, cross-legged, legs in front, to the side, whatever it is you need to do to get comfortable. And we'll get started. For today's practice, we are going to focus on building a foundation. So in our practice, it's very important to build a nice strong foundation, whether you're doing sitting poses, standing poses, especially when you're doing balance poses. You want a nice, strong, sturdy foundation. So we're really going to focus on that today. I want you to put a lot of your thoughts and energy into the foundation of each pose. What's really where you're gathering your strength from, where you feel strong and confident and really stable with your position on the mat. And remember, as always, rest whenever you need to. Modify, change the poses as they fit you, your unique body. So today might be a day that you want to try this practice, but you want to try it in a chair. So feel free to do that, make any modifications, use the furniture around you, use any props that you have next to you, and just make sure that you feel good and you feel confident in your poses. As you get settled in, bring your hands to your knees, sit up nice and tall. Let your eyes gently close. Just begin by kind of settling the mind down and doing a little check-in with yourself. Just like with our physical posture, we need a nice, strong, stable foundation in our mind. Something grounded, in place of stability. Otherwise, your mind can get very scattered and feel all over the place. I'm going to rein that in. Feel nice and grounded. Also check in with your physical self. Of course, notice if you have any kinks from sleeping the night before, anything from the weekend. Just see how you're feeling. Just notice these things. No need to judge or get upset that something is sore. Just notice without trying to change anything. This is where you're at right now. A nice deep breath in. Let it out. So our first foundation here is going to be in our easy seated position. So wherever you're at, feel those roots kind of growing out from your sit bones, right underneath you. Feel as though, a magnet is almost pulling you to the earth, nice and stable. Meanwhile, your upper body has all this movement here without feeling like you're going to tip over. Just, even if your legs are out straight, explore all the movement you have in whatever direction that you can. Just a little exploration here. And with that as our foundation, we also want to grow that up through our spine and up to the crown of our head in a nice, strong posture. So notice how your posture feels right now. I always feel like I'm sitting up tall. It's a little strained and may not be taking deep breaths sometimes when I strain a little too much trying to sit up nice and tall. So right now we're just trying to notice what it feels like right now, just naturally, like, okay, I'm telling you to sit here and sit up nice and tall. What does that feel like for you right now? And drop the tops of your hands down to the mat. Inhale, reach all the way strong through the fingertips as you reach your arms up and overhead. Bring your palms together. Exhale. Bring the arms back down using that same energy strong through the fingertips, like you're really reaching to drag your fingers up the walls on each side of the room. Exhale. Keep moving like this as you inhale, lift your gaze so that watch as your palms come together. As you exhale, bringing your arms down, your gaze gently comes down. Maybe your chin comes slightly to your chest or in that direction. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, just bring your right hand down to the mat. Reach your left arm up high. Take a breath in. Exhale, stretch and that left arm over to the right. You can kind of bend into your elbow or slide your right hand on the mat. Exhale, bring that hand down. Walk your hands back forward. Nice. Sit yourself up nice and gentle. Inhale, reach your arms up high. Exhale, bring your left hand to the mat. Reach your right arm up high. Also try to pull your shoulder back. As your fingers are reaching high, pull your shoulder kind of down so it creates the space between your ear and your shoulder here. So notice the difference here, reaching up high, kind of like press my ear against my shoulder here, and then reaching strong through the fingertips at the same time, setting that shoulder back and away. Take a breath in. Exhale, I'm going to reach over to the left. Exhale, drop your hand down and walk yourself back forward. Place your hands right in front of your lap or on your thighs if your legs are right out in front of you. Take a breath in, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, slide or walk your hands forward to a seated forward fold. Just coming as far forward as it feels good to you. You'll kind of feel that stretch and your body will tell you when it's like, okay, stop now. And you're going to pause there and just breathe. Gently walk your hands back up to a seated position. Inhale, reach your arms up high. Bring your palms together. Exhale, bring your palms directly down the center. And bring your palms to your chest, to your heart center. Draw your shoulders down and away. Sit up nice and tall. Let your eyes gently close. And notice your posture now and see if anything has changed. I always feel like I'm sitting up a little bit taller with more ease. I don't feel like I'm strained and almost arcing my back trying to sit up tall. It just gets some just natural length up through the spine. You still feel like you're kind of like having a hard time with your posture, take a blanket or a block. underneath you a little bit, so that brings your hips forwards, and see if that helps you set up a little taller with more ease. A nice deep breath in. Let it out. Now move into child's pose. So gently come onto your hands and knees. Bring your big toes together and bring your knees as wide as the mat. Begin to kind of rock back and forth, starting to sit back on your heels. If it's uncomfortable in any way, start moving your knees closer together. You can kind of play with how close together they are. We want this to be nice and comfortable. So you can sit all the way back on your heels. Take a breath in. Exhale. Bringing your forehead or a cheek down to the mat. Something that's nice and comfortable. Nice deep breath in. Let it out. Bring your hands to the mat and gently rise up. Coming back to hands and knees. So you can kind of bring your knees about hip width distance apart. Spread your fingertips wide, pressing your palms into the mat. So here's another, tabletop is another good example of finding a strong foundation physically. Whether your elbows are on the mat instead of your palms, every part, think of your body as like 4 legs of a table. So down your knees where they're touching the mat or blanket, and then your arms. Feel nice and strong and stable. Really concentrating on that contact between your hands or elbows and your knees as those points of contact for your foundation. And then how everything else has this free movement and back and forth, side to side. So take a moment to just explore some of that movement that you have without moving your table legs. And settle into your tabletop. Your head and neck nice and long, shoulders drawn back away from your ears. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, relax. Inhale, gently drop your belly button down towards the mat as you lift your gaze upward. And as you exhale, bring your gaze down as you arch your back, bringing your chin to your chest. Inhale, up to cow pose. Exhale to cat. Move back and forth with your breath. Being mindful of your strong foundation you've created. You want to add in any other movements that you are exploring. As you move back and forth in your cat-cow, You can do that. Just be confident in your foundation. It's keeping you nice and steady, and that will allow the rest of your body to feel nice and loose and comfortable in the movement. Take a few more breaths and then start to settle back into your tabletop here. And be very mindful of your strong foundation. And you're going to send your right foot back, leading with the heel. And reach your left arm forward. Really keep that energy of your right arm and left leg for your foundation there, keeping you nice and steady. Take a breath in. Exhale, release the hand and knee back down. Moving to the other side, send your left leg back, pushing with the heel, and reach your right arm forward. Now, if you find yourself kind of tipping or anything like that, just come back to your tabletop. Really feel your foundation. And then start by reaching the leg back. Feel nice and strong, and then reach your arm forward. Take a breath in. Exhale, bring hand and knee down. And sit back on your heels. Take a rest in child's pose. Maybe roll your wrists around if you've been on your hands. And maybe rub them with your opposite hand. Take a big breath in. Let it out. Then walk your hands back. So you're on your knees here. Inhale, rise up to a standing wheel. Now if you need to move your knees apart a little bit, so you have a nice strong foundation, bring a blanket over to help cushion you. And extend your right leg out to the side. So your strong foundation is still kind of rooted down to the center of gravity here. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, reach your left hand over to the right, bringing your right hand down to your leg. Inhale, exhale, sweep your left arm down and bring it over to the side here. And inhale, reach your right arm up. Inhale. Exhale, bring your right hand down. And walk your hands back forward and bring your knee down. Sitting back on your heels and resting in child's pose for a moment. And when you're ready, walking your hands back to that kneel and rising up. I like to put my hands on my hips for a little stability when I come up to this standing kneel. You can also bring your toes to the mat if you feel like you need a little bit more in that point of contact for your foundation. Otherwise, if you're just on your knees, you have, just that for your balance here. But if you bring your toes here, see a little bit more of a kickstand. And then extend your left leg out to the side. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, reaching over to the left. Exhale, sweep that hand down, bringing it over to the side. Inhale, reach your left arm up. Exhale, bring that hand down. Walk your hands back forward. Bring your knee down and sit back on your heels for child's pose. One more breath in and out. Inhale, rise up to hands and knees. And we're going to move into downward facing dog. So bring your toes to the mat. Feel your hands pressed into the mat. Feel that firmness. If you need to move your blanket, if it's a little too slippery or spreads out, and bring your hands to the mat. And lift your knees and set your heels back towards the mat for downward facing dog. So your hands are pressed into the mat. The front of your feet, your heels may not touch the mat. That's okay. The front of your foot and your toes are pressed into the mat. This foundation is what allows you to maybe lift one leg up and back down. Without feeling like you're tipping, feel like equal pressure on your hands here. So you can lift the other leg and back down. Just try that a couple times. And bend your knees, walk your feet forward to hang down in forward fold. So now your feet are your foundation. Gather up that energy up through the legs, all the way to your hips. And then the top half of your body is folded forward. So the knees are bent, but you still have a nice strong foundation through here. The knees bent are what's supporting your upper body, hanging down here. You can bend your knees as much as you need to help with that balance. If your legs are straight, Then you kind of feel like you could tip over. Knees are bent, your center of gravity becomes larger. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Sink your hips back a little bit more. Gently begin to rise up, really pressing down through your feet into the mat to gather up that strength to rise up. Once your head and neck come up, raise your arms up and overhead. Bring your palms together. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. I'm going to move my blanket out of the way. So now here in this mountain pose, just take a moment to really feel what's underneath your feet. Whether it's a blanket or your yoga mat, or carpet. I'm going to rock back and forth just with the weight of your body so that you feel your heels pressing in and you feel the top of your feet all the way to your toes. All those points of contact. You can do it lifting your feet too, kind of coming to your toes, to your heels. And lift your feet kind of up and down. Really feel all of your toes, the way your toes spread, help with your balance. And once you get a feel for that, once more, with that as our strong foundation, start to explore the space above that the rest of your body has. With a nice strong foundation holding you in place. Knees can bend, they can move. Take up space, see how much space that you can reach and explore without moving your feet, without changing your foundation. And settle back into your mountain pose. Really stand up nice and tall. Now we're going to change so our weight shifts all the way to our left leg. Before is kind of about, equal, that strong foundation. Our foundation is strictly going to be our left leg. So shift that weight to that left leg with a nice bend in the knee still. And you'll feel that weight just kind of come off the right side. Your feet your leg can kind of swing, maybe barely touching the mat. And your strong foundation is solely in this leg now. You can still rest your right foot on the mat. Nice and gentle. Still get that feeling of that foundation just in one leg. And that's where you want to start when you move into a balance pose. If you go from, your regular mountain pose and instantly just bring a leg up, you're going to feel a little wobbly. You're going to build a nice, strong foundation. Really feel that. Then begin to lift your right knee. Feel like a little string, pulling it up. Doesn't have to come all the way up. It can come just up a little bit. Exhale, bring the foot back down. Now kind of shift your weight back and forth. And then shift it back over to that left leg. Feel that strong foundation and begin to lift that knee. Now, if you can, use your hand then to draw open that knee to the side. Now, if it's down here and you can't reach down there, just turn it open here. You can even have your toes on the mat if you need to, or use your hand to really open up that hip. A nice bend in the knee. That bend in the knee is going to help you build that foundation so you have this movement to kind of, if you tip a little bit, the knee straight and you tip, you might tip right over. And bring the knee forward and gently set it back down. Shift your feet back and forth. And you can shake it out if you need to. And then we'll move to the other side, our right side. So now you know what it feels like, between that equal foundation here. Just shifting that foundation over to one side. This movement here. So when you're ready, on your time here, when you're ready, just explore. Start to lift that knee out in front. See what that feels like. And set it back down. Shift your weight back and forth. And settle in. Shift your weight. Stand up nice and tall. Nice and slow. Always remember to still breathe too. So now you a lot of things to do at the same time, but that's why it's helpful to kind of match your breath to your movement so that you make it one fluid motion as opposed to trying to balance and trying to breathe, trying to do all these things all at the same time. Inhale to center, exhale, setting your foot back down, and then shifting your weight back and forth. So coming to the top of your mat. Again, shifting your weight to your left leg. So moving back over to our left leg. Feel that foundation first. Then inhale slowly. Lift your right leg in the air. And on the exhale, you're going to send it back, bringing it down to the mat as you bend into your front knee. So we're setting up for warrior one here. So our heels are in line with each other and your right foot is off to the right at about a 45-degree angle. So again, coming into that, you're lifting your knee. And with your strong foundation, you're sending it back as you bend into your front knee. Now you have time here to check your footing. Make sure you feel nice and stable because now your foundation is both of your feet. You feel nice and strong there. Rest your hands on your hips, shift your hips forward. Inhale. Lift your arms up. Exhale, open the shoulders up, coming to warrior one. Take a breath in. Exhale, warrior two. So arms are extended out. Now your hips don't have to be forward. They're going to be kind of pitched open to the side. Then your strong foundation of your feet kind of gathering energy to the center of you. So you can still rise up nice and tall. Have that good posture. Feel very powerful in this pose. Starting from the ground up. Now turn both palms up to the ceiling. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. And step your feet together. So now you can also, turn to the side and kind of move your feet together. There's a lot of different options here for how you want to bring your feet together. You can also bring your hands down and gently walk your feet together. You get there, what's best for you and your body. And we'll switch over to the other side. Standing up nice and tall in our mountain pose. And shifting our weight to our right leg, nice bend in the knee. Finding our foundation. Inhale, lift your knee. Exhale, send it back, planting it down as you bend into your front knee. Find your foundation here and turn your hips forward. Inhale. Exhale, opening up the shoulders into warrior one. Take a breath in. Exhale, warrior two. Turn both palms up. Inhale your arms up and overhead. Exhale, bringing your palms together and bringing your feet together. So now you're getting a feel for that foundation. We're going to do one more balance pose and then work our way back down to the mat. So coming to the top of your mat and starting the same way. So nice strong mountain pose, shifting your weight over to your left leg. That's your foundation now. Inhale, lift your right knee up. Exhale, send your heel to the back of the room as you fold forward at the hips, coming into warrior three. Exhale, melt everything down into forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Sink your hips back and rise up nice and slow. And do the same thing on the other side. And go nice and slow. Really feel that foundation. You need to lift that knee in front. Send that heel to the back of the room as you come forward. You can keep your palms together here. You can extend them out. Bring them to a wall to help it balance. Pressing your hands against the wall does not take away from your foundation. Make sure all of your strength is coming from your legs still. Take a breath in. Exhale, melt everything down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Sink your hips back and gently rise. A moment here in mountain pose to really feel the strength of that foundation of both legs. How different that feels. Inhale, reach your arm high. Exhale, diving down, forward fold. So this is kind of an exploration of that movement, with your feet rooted down through the mat. You bend the knees to open up your arms. Bend the knees as you dive down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Bring your hands to the mat. Step both feet back. And then bring your knees down, sitting back on your heels for child's pose. Inhale, gently rise up. Walk your knees forward. I'm going to move to lying on our backs. So I'm going to bring that blanket back over. And gently lie yourself back. Get nice and comfortable and start to think about now where your foundation would be. Think about all the points of contact. Your feet, your shoulder blades, your back all the way down to your tailbone. But to me, when I feel like the strong points of contact, like it doesn't feel like my spine is pressed into the mat unless I force it, which is uncomfortable. It's my tailbone, my shoulder blades, back of my head, and my feet. Lay your arms at your side now. Spreading the fingertips, opening up your hands here. I'm going to move into bridge pose. Our foundation is going to be our feet, our arms, and pressing your shoulder blades down. Take a nice deep breath in. Relax, let it out. And inhale, gently lift your hips. Keep looking straight up. You want to make sure you can you fit a good-sized ball, like an orange, in between your chin and your chest here. And your foundation is your feet, your hands, your shoulders. Exhale, gently lower down. And relax. Let's do that one more time. I like to always start out a bridge pose with a nice deep inhale, exhale, just a little relaxing reminder. And inhale, gathering strength through your foundation as you lift your hips. Exhale, gently lower down. Extend both legs long. Open up your arms, open up your legs, take up space here. Everything needs a good, strong foundation in order to thrive. Relationships, businesses, houses. It's like to try to think of how it can relate, your physical practice to the outside world as well. So as you lay here and breathe, just think about the foundations in your life and what that foundation is, what things have been built upon. Maybe where some need to be strengthened. And sometimes just like in our physical poses or postures, just bringing your mind and directing your thoughts back to that foundation can help strengthen it. It's that little mental reminder. I think that can translate to other foundations in your life as well. I invite you to move into Shavasana, stay here as long as you'd like. I find it very restful to just spread my limbs out. I don't know about you. If you need to bring a blanket or a pillow over and get a little bit more cuddly cozy, you can do that. And let your eyes gently close. Keep everything nice and relaxed and think about that idea. Think about the points of contact. What's in contact with the mat? Where do you feel the strong foundation? And if you feel that, can the rest of your body completely relax and feel loose, just like that freedom of movement we had in our upright postures. Just invite you to explore your mind, your body, as you lay here. Let's all take one final breath together. Let it out. Now you can stay in your Shavasana for a few more minutes, as long as you need to, for getting up and moving on with your day. And thank you for practicing with me today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay strong, stay rooted, grounded, and remember to always be kind. Namaste.